Is it the guns out time to tinker?
Sun's out, guns out, time to tinker. It is showtime.
Go time.
Go time, showtime. It's about Stay Wild on the Wild Podcast.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
What's on your agenda tonight?
I have no agenda.
You don't have an agenda? No. I don't either.
I think so. I think this is the first time me and you have had a podcast with just me and you.
Well, I think we had one more. It was about my transformation. Remember that?
Oh, going from a girl to a boy?
Yeah.
That one?
Yeah. No, we kind of skipped that one.
Oh, we did? We didn't air that one,
No, it was the cat to the dog.
Cat to the dog, yeah. You got to get a bigger litter box.
I think that was that one. And then me and you had a couple talking to Trevor, but it's not very often we get just me and you on here. So
no, it's not.
A lot of times I feel like that's where some of the deepest conversations come is me and you, because I think me and you's mind are kind of similar in a lot of ways.
A lot of the same. The deep thoughts that we can't explain, can't understand, and just we stumble and fall together.
Yeah, and we both had that's what they say: birds of a feather flock together. So it's like you've got that drive, I've got that drive. We both just got a unique personality that. As long as I've ever known you, I've always liked you. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you got that.
That's good.
Not no homo. You know what I'm saying? No, but it's just we've always been drawn to each other, but we both have that drive. We feel like there's something deeper.
Absolutely.
In life. It's not just on the surface level.
Yeah, and it's taken a long time to search for it and try to dig it out, and I'm still confused.
I don't know.
I still don't know.
Yeah.
But if you don't stop digging, man, it's like you're never going to find it. And I think one day it'll click. Honestly, it may not. I think there's just every chapter in life, however long that chapter is, it's like sometimes it'll reset, and then you're going to find something else that you're going after, which is good because you need change and you need struggle to feel empowered.
Yeah.
Almost not even empowered. Almost makes you feel weak.
Yeah.
It's like, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do this. Well, that's good because you're going to learn something.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to push hard to figure out what the hell it is.
Yeah. And a lot of times you don't understand what that is until after you
definitely
not
past
me.
It. Right.
And I was telling you before we hit play on here,
sometimes
what?
I did hit play. I was making sure I hit record. I wasn't sure.
No, sometimes it feels like in life, I got these dreams and these aspirations, and it's one day I'm going for them, and it's going good.
Yeah.
And then the next day you just are in kind of a valley, and it just feels man, what am I doing? I don't think I know what I'm doing. I might as well just turn around and back out.
Easy to do.
But then there's that inner. I've got so many things going on in my brain at the same time because there's that spirit in me that says no,
right,
no, but then there's that the guy that tries to back out all the time. So it's like a freaking war zone in my head at all times.
Yeah. They just rumble and ruin all the time in my head.
I got an angel on this shoulder, a demon on this shoulder, and it's they're just constantly you never know which way you bouncing your head like a ping pong ball. But no, it levels out, and I think really having that spiritual walk with God and trying to trying to have Him guide you, that makes a big difference in my life.
The one thing that has structure.
Yeah. And I don't even understand that all.
No, we're not supposed to.
And like you said, you don't know if we'll ever figure it out. There'll be one day, and that's what I tell a lot of people when they ask about spiritual talk or something. I don't know. There's a lot of things I won't figure out till I'm on the other side,
Right.
That's like the flat earth theory, I've got a buddy a really good buddy. He believes in that. And,
no kidding.
And I don't, honestly, I never really thought two thoughts about it, it's kind of one of those things I don't really think about it too much.
Yeah.
I told him, I was that's kind of one of those things, when I die, I've always thought the earth's round because that's what we've been told our whole life.
We've been taught, yeah.
So of
we're also
course,
taught evolution, but
of course, we're going to believe that, or most people are going to believe that because that's what you're taught. So, it's kind of one of those things. When I die, when I get up there, and if I do see the world's flat, I'm gonna be like, dadgummit, they lied to us, them little suckers.
Yeah.
But it's another thing, if I look down and it's round, I'll just be like,
told you so.
Thought that was right,
Did we ever go to the moon?
Man, that's another thing that
we were taught to believe that we did, but studies and some common sense and logic are kind of screaming that maybe maybe it was set up.
And you know that's the craziest thing is there ain't nobody that knows.
No,
Except for the people that was there.
Yeah.
These are all stories, and I mean, people they hold to these things like they're fact, and I don't know if they are or not.
Yeah.
Like, there's only, like you said, there's one way. I'll know one day. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll all know the answers, and
I'm sure we'll have a book of questions and hope we can get some answers at some point.
thinking of death, which is something that nobody ever really thinks of. And I don't find enjoyment in it, but sometimes like you're
No,
not really.
I'm not dying to get in a graveyard just yet.
But like sometimes like of course after you die, it's not the dying that is, but wherever your spiritual life, I want to meet like some of these people that were in these stories, like David and Goliath, and just like on a human standpoint, like not reading it from the Bible, not being taught
like
that.
how big really was he? Was everybody 5 foot even, and he was 6 foot?
Yeah.
I was listening to biggest podcast in the world, next to us, of course, Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And they were talking today about like this guy, the big arm wrestler guy that has he's like
the
52
giant arm.
Yeah, he was on the podcast, and they were talking about he was in the Canadian Army, like a Secret Service guy or whatever. And he's like, did you ever hear about like the legends of Kandahar, like the giants of Kandahar? I was like, yeah, I heard about them. He said at one point we were patrolling doing this thing, and he said I looked through like some optics and like 200 meters away. He said there was this guy that was obviously just monstrous compared to everybody else. He said everybody else is like average size. Mm-hmm. He said this guy, he had to be at least 8 foot. He said his hands were just massive. He said, well, they have legends of a guy that was over there like 12, 14 foot tall. And then he's like, well, there's some people up in northern Canada in like some Netherlands regions where Netherlands may not be Canada, but like all woodsy style.
Yeah.
He said their whole family is like 8'11".
Really?
Yeah. He's like, so yeah, there's giants. And he mentioned, he said, I wonder what it was like with David and Goliath. Like what we understand, they didn't understand things quite like we do today. What they perceived as some things, and this may be questioning like belief, but sometimes they perceive things as something completely different where we actually have a rationality of it. Like, so I wonder what size of a person Goliath really was. If he was like Shaquille O'Neal, which there's a lot of people like Shaquille O'Neal. Or there's a lot of guys that are 6 foot and I'm 5 whatever, I mean, there's actual, not just biblical, but historical facts of giants. Yeah.
So it's like, but...
And they talk about people lived 140 years back in the early days. So, I mean, so who knows, and there's certain genetics that are made up in us that like some of those, like Brian Shaw apparently has growth hormones unlike like anybody in the world. And a lot of those big people, it's a natural phenomenon inside their genetic makeup that is just different, like than what we have. So, like,
that's like
if it
Caleb
happens
Watson.
now, Caleb.
There's something
I was thinking
different
about him because they're like, man, the arm wrestling guy. He's like, this guy is 260. He has some guys that he arm wrestles that are 400. He said there's guys that are 165 pounds that'll flat whoop up on those big boys.
Yeah.
He's like, they're just naturally strong. And my mind exactly went to Caleb Watson because me and him's the same weight. But we don't push the same.
No.
Like, not even close. And he says he's, other than like TRT, he doesn't do anything else. And it's hard to believe, but I mean, I believe him. Some guys are just made up different.
They are.
You know?
And that, like, because I mean, I've lifted my whole life. We were talking about this at work the other day. My boss was like, there's, just because you go to the gym doesn't mean you're strong. And I said, I know that for a fact.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, some of the strongest people I know don't step foot in the gym. They hang drywall. They're out there, they're workers, but they are strong.
Right.
And
I can hold my own, but I'm not strong by all means.
Exactly.
And a lot of injuries won't let me get strong. So a lot of it's just for sure. By the way, we didn't plan on Suns Out, Guns Out today. It's 90-some degrees. It's June 10th. It's humid outside. I came in, I took my work clothes off, put a cutoff shirt on. Swilly came in. He's wearing a muscle shirt. I'm like, you know what, dude? We're going to rock it out on a podcast.
Yeah, that's been laying asphalt this last couple of days.
Man, everybody's been laying asphalt.
I've lucked out. They've put me in the distributor truck, air conditioned.
Did you get diagnosed with asphalt? the butt disease?
It was my own asphalt.
I'm on asphalt.
No, but no, I was in air conditioning all day, and I looked down at the temperature on the screen, and it was like 104, and I was
Yeah,
I look back here, and old Tim Hill and all them boys is out there on the paver with that hot mix just steaming in their face.
He snapped me yesterday. He said, it looked like I pissed myself, and he's just soaking wet. I'm sitting there like, man, thank God my AC's working.
I got out of the air conditioner because we was waiting on some trucks to come, and they were all just taking a break, laid out underneath some cedar trees. And
how'd you let the boss be out there and you're in the rig?
I don't know.
Lucky.
Yeah, I don't know. I walked up there to him. I said, what the heck you boys sweating for?
Yeah. You think it's hot outside or what?
But no, that laying asphalt, I've been on that box when it's 104 degrees.
Man.
And then you got that hot asphalt that's steaming up in your face. Like, you can't wear glasses because they'll
Steams
fog
up
up
on you.
Yeah.
Which, do you get a lot of like backsplash from that at all?
You can. And that hot mix will burn you.
I'll guarantee it.
When you're hauling trucks, you'll go to pull that tarp over or something like that, and there'll be a little bit of hot mix, and that sucker will splatter on your arms. Dude,
get an asphalt brand.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's a hot job, but that's the best time to lay asphalt is when it's a hot, because that sucker
you can form it.
Yeah, it holds its heat better, and it just lays.
I didn't know if it would get almost soupy, which I'm sure that is there probably a certain mixture you do and
you don't want. Every I'm gonna nerd out for a second. All that stuff has polymers or something like that, so like you can't get them above a certain temperature.
Don't you get that on your butt like for hemorrhoids?
Polyps. Polyps. That's what it is.
Arnold Polymer.
But no, if you get stuff too hot, it can really mess the mix up. But
yeah, no, I know that, like everywhere around work's getting roads done. Poplar Bluff's getting it done. 67.
Yeah, man, Poplar Bluff's getting all the paving done, dude.
Everything. I guess it needed it. I don't know. I came out from the gym the other day and I went to leave and there was signs up and people one lane in. I'm like, crap, what's going on here? And then they laid asphalt down.
So you go to the gym, right?
Sometimes, occasionally, once maybe every day.
If you were going to talk to one person and tell them one tip, to get in shape, what would it be?
The one tip, don't go at it too hard and understand that it's not going to happen tomorrow.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you go in too quick, too thick, too quick, you're going to get sore. You're going to hate it. You won't be able to wipe your butt for a few days, and then you're not going to go back. Also, if you go in for 3 days and you weigh yourself and you're 3 pounds heavier than you started and you're trying to lose weight or vice versa, like Rome wasn't built overnight.
Exactly.
I've been lifting for a very long time, and I've had a lot of injuries, and it's taken a long time to put on that 30 pounds of muscle. That's all I've put on since like high school.
Yeah.
It's about 30 pounds. It's a struggle.
Well, see, like myself, I've lifted ever since I was in high. I lifted hard in high school, and then I had phases where I'd get out. And then
naturally
I'd get back to lifting. But I always had that, that form.
Yeah.
I talked to a guy today. He asked me. He said, he's like, man, how'd you lose all that weight? And I said, changed my lifestyle. Like I stopped eating junk food.
You have to change your diet.
Yeah.
Abs are made in the kitchen.
And that's what I told him. I said, man, one of the stupidest lies I've ever heard is like when you're talking around your group of buddies and you show somebody a bodybuilder who's evidently on steroids because they're big, and they say while they're eating their Pop-Tart, if I did steroids, I could look like that.
Yeah.
Like, no, you couldn't.
Yeah, I got told you the other day, like if I gave you a bunch of steroids and I say, check back with me in 3 years, don't change anything in your life.
Yeah.
Take as much as you can possibly handle. Check back with me.
Yeah.
3 years and see what you look like. It ain't going to be what you think it is.
No.
I mean, does it help? Yeah. Does it help you recover and gain and all that stuff? Yeah. Is it unhealthy? Some of it is. But like without discipline and lifestyle change, and I know nobody has time for the gym. Nobody. But guess what? You got to sacrifice going and watching Love is Blind on TV, and you got to get your ass to the gym.
Yep.
And you got to clean up your diet, and you got to stick with it. And you're going to get a lot of naysayers because people are naysaying because they're trying to figure out a way of doing that too, and it's a struggle.
Yeah.
You just figured out a way of making it happen.
Yeah. And that's like everybody makes fun of me because of how I eat. These bodybuilders that go to competitions.
Oh, it's insane.
They are way more strict than me. Like,
I like to promote a healthy, fun lifestyle.
And
I like to have a drink. I like to eat some food. I like to lift. I'm also lucky enough. I have a high enough metabolism. I can burn off a lot of what I do. I also don't go in and lollygag around the gym.
But also, having more muscle mass will make your metabolism higher.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's not, you're not going to just like magically, like if you've got a very, very slow metabolism and then
Yeah.
you put on a bunch of muscle, you can't just expect just to go back to your eating habits and
Right.
just be like,
Right. Yeah.
But, no, it definitely does help. Like I can tell myself, like just, I lost all that weight and then I've been hitting the gym every day pretty much except for like Sundays and some Saturdays. But yeah, I can definitely tell that my metabolism, because I can eat more.
Yeah.
And the scale doesn't move very much.
Well, you have to eat. If you're not fueling your body, you're just going to keep tearing down your internal muscle groups and stuff. Like people that talk about, I'm just going to starve myself, I'm going to lose weight. Like that's not good. Your body's going to look for glycogen. If it can't find it, it's going to start storing it, or whatever's stored, good and bad, is going to eat it.
Yeah.
And then whenever you do eat, your body's like, oh crap, like this is my one time only.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can healthily do that. A lot of guys will fast all day and do like a carnivore or something like that. But I'm saying the guys that'll eat like, well, I'll eat one meal a day, and it's anything and everything you get your hands on one time a day. Well, you're just storing that away, and it's gonna just hold on to you. And, another thing I don't like is like all these get fit quick pills.
Oh yeah.
Because guys are losing an insane amount of weight so fast, and they look sick.
Oh,
like I know there's some people, I ain't gonna mention their names, that like just they're kind of recently into fitness and they're really going gung ho about it, and they look sick. Like they just lost so much weight. Now they are like working out and stuff, thankfully, but I don't like what that does to people.
Well, yeah, and I'll be the first one to say, like, I feel like it's very helpful in some ways.
It is.
You have to.
But we're at a society where we want it now.
Yeah,
I think
and you
don't
don't want to change nothing to get it.
Right.
Like if you take that shot and all you do is just don't eat, as much because you're not hungry, because the shot's making you not hungry, then what do you think's going to happen when you get off that shot and then that hunger comes back?
Yeah, if you
didn't change anything there.
Right.
You're
still going to have those unhealthy habits.
Yeah, you relied on that shot to get you there.
Yeah.
Now, if you take the shot, it decreases your hunger, and then all of a sudden you start replacing that cheeseburger or, like fast food with a good steak or eggs and nuts and berries, and you just start replacing
whole foods,
everything like that, and you do that for months on end, and you get your body trained to because whole foods, your body knows how to break that down. That's one ingredient.
It's where
you don't have to break down if you look at the back of a Pop-Tart, look at how many ingredients is in that. So, like, imagine what your digestive system has to go through to break all that down.
Yeah.
Where an orange, it's one ingredient. It just, your body metabolizes it so much faster. And it's just, that's how we were designed to eat. We weren't designed to eat these man-made stuff like that.
No, and look at all the health problems with it.
But yeah, if you use that shot and you change all that, then when you get off there, you're going to gain a little bit of weight back because your hunger is going to come back slowly but surely. But you're not going to gain massive amounts of weight back. You're going to have healthy fat, I think. Like, because and you're just going to feel better. Like your blood pressure is going to go down. Everything about you is going to.
I've had so many people that'll go on a strict diet and lift, and like their stress goes away, their blood pressure problems go away.
Yes.
Like this, they just become a whole new person. Like it's this. You don't always have to take a bunch of medicine to fix yourself. Sometimes you just need a little bit of a lifestyle change.
Yeah. And
it's hard. Like it's not easy, especially if like you're with a spouse and you have kids, like Lex lifts some. She's starting to lift a little bit more now. She's in the blood, but like she don't have the same mindset that I have. So we don't always eat like I need to. And I'm also a snacker. So if we have cereal and stuff, I'll pour a bowl of cereal. It's really hard for me to not do that. Now, what I've been trying to do to also save money, when I go to get gas, like which every 2 or 3 days I put on a lot of miles, I don't go into the gas station. I get gas, and then I make all my food, take it with me, and I come home and I get food. And I mean, sometimes I have to buy something. I'm hungry. And especially after like today, I done legs yesterday. Well, the next day after legs or a big muscle group, I can't get enough food. I can't get enough water. Mm-hmm. And I'm just eating and eating and eating. It's just my body's like, hey, dude, replenish me.
Yep.
So like it takes a little bit of discipline. But I mean, you don't have to go all in because you don't make it fun. You're not going to stick with it.
Yeah, that's full circle right there. Because I had a guy tell me, or started out asking that, and he told, okay, so here's another thing I want to talk about real quick, like TRT. This guy, I don't know his age right off the top of my head, but he asked me the other day, he said, you're on TRT, or because he asked me, how I lost all that weight, and I said, well, I changed my lifestyle. And then he's like, man, he's like, you're jacked now. And I was like, dude, again, this took me like 3 to 4 years of every day hitting it. Like, it's not like, I mean, but that's the beauty of it is when you are a driven and disciplined person, people only see the result. They don't see the grind.
Yep. The dough must be nice people.
Yeah. And so, like, I mean, I'm not saying that's how he was like, but,
Right.
like, they don't ever see what it took. They just see how it is, and that's what they want to do,
Yeah.
But he's like, man, I heard you're on TRT. And I was like, yeah. I said, actually, I've just been on that like a year or something.
It ain't
like
been that long.
And he's like, yeah. He's like, I am too. He's like, dude, I want to get big. And I was like, well, talk to him. I was like, where'd you get it at? And he goes, my doctor. And I was like, what's your testosterone levels? He's like, about 400 something. I was like, dude, like I said, I'm just going to warn you, dude. I said, you're young and you've got average testosterone. I said, I don't know who your doctor is. I don't know why they would prescribe you testosterone replacement therapy at that. I was like, dude, when I went in, I said, my levels were like not even hitting 200. I was like, that was,
I think I was 260.
Yeah. So I said, I feel like, I said, you're not probably going to feel a whole lot because that's what he said. He's like, man, I don't really feel a whole lot different. I was like, well, you're not because you're replacing what your body naturally does to putting this synthetic stuff in your body, tricking it to, produce it now.
And who knows what the doses is. They may be trying to get into 600 when a lifter needs to be 8 to like 1300 and then keeping it monitored. Like, that's where you really feel your best. But it's kind of flirting with a little bit of danger too. You got to understand the side effects.
Everybody, there's a secret level, I think, because man, I had mine up there to 1100. I felt like a beast in the gym.
Yeah.
I felt like a beast in life, but I also felt like a beast at home.
Right?
Like, it was just like
it can get you.
Like every little thing just like jacked you up, and it's like, man, maybe I need to turn it down a little bit. So I took my dose down from 300 to 175, and I started injecting 3 times a week instead of what the doctor recommends is like 1 time a week. Usually.
Yeah, I do microdosing, and I do right at a milliliter a week, and it's 200 total, and I do every 2 days, and it just that way you're not up and down, up and down, up and down, and I like it a lot better. Yeah,
and whatever we talk about on this podcast, I don't want anybody to go say, "Well, they told me to do this."
No.
I'm telling
I tell everybody, like, if you're considering it all, or even if you're just wanting to get into shape, go get your stuff checked.
Yeah,
you have things in your body that are altered tremendously by what we intake, your genetics. Like, you may be deficient on a lot of vitamins and minerals, your calcium, your whatever, your blood pressure may be high. You may have all this stuff going on. Like, figure out where it's at, and then every couple of months you're gonna go get it checked again. Especially if you go to the doctor, they'll have you do it. You can get things from a lot of different places. I'm just saying, be careful and keep track of your body. You got one body to use. Yeah, I mean, some people can live through a life of abuse and neglect, but you'll feel a lot better if you pay attention to it a little bit.
And what a lot of younger kids, and especially like up to my age, most of the time, when you start feeling like, you eat like crap your whole half of your life, and then you're like, like, man, I'm out of energy. I'm out of. Well, all right, change everything for 2 years and tell me how you feel before we diagnose you with low testosterone. Eat berries, nuts, meat, fish.
There's ways you can naturally raise it up a little bit, and not as much as you can with a synthetic drug, of course, but like there's ways you can do
and then come back after that and say, okay, how do you feel now? But like too many people, they're just like, they shoot straight to that thing, and I'm like, man, be careful, because I mean, it's not gonna. I don't know if there's been any long-term studies. If like this may be one of those things that like 30 years down the road, they're like, yeah, you're going to die from cancer.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, and you got to outweigh the risk and the benefits of that. It's weightlifting is one of the biggest things in my life that I consistently do. I guess I would consider myself a bodybuilder, like a low key bodybuilder. That's all I think about besides like hunting. Like, I'll go to the gym before I go to the woods, or I'll go to the gym before I do anything. That's my way of getting my mind flushed. But to see results, like you gotta do certain things, and some of it's a health risk and some of it's a health benefit.
Well, it's
talk to people,
physique,
ask questions. Yeah,
like when you get to like what kind of physique you have, if you want to just lose weight, I mean, a diet and exercise, that's all you need.
Yeah, and minimal.
And 90% of people are going to be happy with that. That's what that's where I'm at. Like I don't go I don't really want to get bigger. You know, I'm just about right where I want to be.
Yeah, I'd like to put on another about 10 pounds where I'd like to go. But
yeah. Now, if you're, wanting that physique and you want to get bigger than you normally are, then that's when the supplementary stuff comes in.
Supplementary and eating your face off. And there's no easy way about it. Like, if you do, there's all those people that just go to the gym. I went. And like, are you sore the next day? Well, no. Like, well, you didn't go. If you're going to the gym and you're comfortable, and this is a rude thing to say, but if you're going to the gym and you're comfortable, you're half-assing it. Mm-hmm. Like, you have to be pushing yourself to the limit. People ask me all the time, what's your rep range? I don't have one. I go till I can't go. Mm-hmm. I don't count. I'll tell myself when I start repping, I'll just start singing the ABCs, or I'll count backwards and I'll incorporate it, or I'll sing a song, because I don't want to know. If I set my goals on 8, I might be able to do 15. I might be able to do 3.
And where I've found in my body and stuff like that here lately, what I've really been getting into, and I've been seeing super results that I like, is calisthenics.
Oh yeah, man, I love
like
it.
body weight exercises.
It, yeah.
Like some of the strongest people you'll ever meet in your life are gymnasts. They do body weight stuff. Hanging from those things just
it provides flexibility too.
Yeah.
Well, because I don't want to be so big I can't wipe my butt, dude. And it's like I stretch a lot, and a lot of it's because I hurt. But you need to have a little bit of athleticism in you.
Yeah, I think so too. But yeah, that is just something that everybody, they'll see you and they wonder that stuff, and it's like, dude, I wish everybody could have the same drive that me and you got. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really do. I'm not saying that out of a weird kind of way or nothing like that, but then again, it's like, where would the world be if everybody was the same?
Right.
It would be
we need diversity, and getting in shape and all this stuff isn't for everybody.
Exactly.
If that's not something you want to do, it's fine. A lot of my friends aren't in shape at all. It is what it is.
The world would probably be just unbearable if everybody was like us, or golly, just slow down.
Yeah.
But no.
But at the same time, it drives you when you have somebody that's kind of close to you. Like, it's a drive.
Yeah, for sure.
You lift by yourself a lot, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do too. I see a lot of people at the gym, but Alexa will sometimes lift with me. But other than that, like, I couldn't tell you the last time I had a gym partner. Like, especially probably in the Marine Corps. That was 8 years ago, I think.
Yeah. The older I get, the more lone wolf I get, like, with that kind of stuff, because like even a lot hunting is because I've got so much going on in my life that I've got this time to hunt. Yeah. I've got this time to lift. So it's like, I don't have time to sit around and wait on you. Right. Like, I'm going to get my stuff done when I get it done. And it's like, now, of course there is exceptions when I take time off to do that and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, is in general, especially working out, like, I don't know nobody that's volunteering to get up with me at 3:45 every morning and say, "Hey,
you do it."
Now, I got a buddy that works at Popper Bluff Shed. He's been coming in every morning.
Good.
Proud of that dude. Cooper. He's sticking to it, and anybody that, dude, that's the thing, is like, I love dedicated. I love seeing like big guys when they come in the gym and I see them consistently for like a year. I'm like, dude,
there was a guy. And he's really intimidating. Big guy. He's got like gauges in. He's huge. A couple weeks ago, I just went up to him like, "Hey, like, you used to be a lot bigger, right?" He's like, "Yeah, man. I was like 475 pounds whenever I came in here." He's like, "Now I'm like mid-upper 2s, but he's solid. Looks like an Eddie Hall." And I'm like, "Dude, like, I just want to let you know, like, you're freaking killing it." And he went from like this real intimidating guy to, "But man, I appreciate it. Thanks, dude." He's like, "You're always in there too." He's like, "You're killing it. Like, you look good." He's like, I had come down a long way to get to where I'm at. I'm like, man, that's awesome. And I said, like, kudos for you to come in here whenever you were this big guy. And then now look at you. You didn't let anybody say or get in your head. You didn't let anybody get in your head. Mm-hmm. You done this. He was always by himself. The dude's strong as an ox.
Yeah.
Changed his life. He looks good. He's a huge dude still, but from being like this kind of like a fatter guy to just a built mother trucker. I'm like, dang, that's cool,
But yeah, the gym is like where you're going to meet some of your most driven, staple people. Like, a lot of people, they don't want to go to the gym because they think they'll get judged. But I'm like, dude, like, come to the gym. Like, that's like therapy.
Yeah.
Dude, you'll meet, Saturday, I woke up course, like I said, I wake up every morning, I hit it hard. Well, there's some days I wake up and I don't feel like it, but you know what? I still drive to the gym, and like Saturday was one of those days. I did not feel like getting there. I was sitting there yawning, just like, gosh, I don't feel like doing this. And like, you know, so I seen one of my buddies, old Andy. Me and him, we've known each other from the gym years back. I used to work out at the park together. And that's what he told me. He said, man, he's like, some days, you know, and we sat there and we talked for like 40 minutes just with our arms laid up against there. I said,
I'm bad about it, yeah.
Sometimes it's not about the physical aspect. It's about the spiritual and just getting out and talking. Because, I mean, me and him always have spiritual talks. Like, he's one of those kind of guys, if I have a question about something like that, I mean, he'll sit down and talk Bible with you, you know, all day long. And it's like, man, some days that's what a guy needs, is just somebody to sit down and talk Bible with you.
Yeah.
You know, there's a time and a place, and 90% of the time I'm that guy that I slap my headphones on. When those headphones on, we don't talk. Like there's been guys in the gym that I've seen for years, never really spoke to, you know, but like I've always smiled at them and I wave at them, but I don't really talk to them. I don't know them, you know? Yeah. And it's like, you know, not up until here recently have I met a lot of them, but every one of them
Same way with me. I'm walking through sometimes and they'll say something to me. Whether sometimes some of my tattoos, like I have the Deathly Hollows tattoo on the side, and they'll mention that, or just, you know, like, hey, like they'll tell me, hey, like you're getting in shape, like you're doing good, and then I'm like, hey, dude, I see you in here like all the time. What's your name? And it's Joe, or it's Susie, or it's so and so, and it's cool to hear their stories, because you know what, everybody has the same similar story.
What?
They weren't like that how they are now. They didn't look like that when they started.
Yep.
You know, nobody looks like that.
It's changed.
You go in there and you go in day out, day out. You don't feel like it. You're sick. I went in there with broken bones. I had casts on my hands. I still lifted. I changed it. You know, I'm like, because I've had injuries before where I'm like, well, I'm going to go in and do just leg day because I got a broken arm or something, or I had shoulder surgery. I don't do anything. So if I let that time lapse, it's easy to get yourself out of it and not get back in it. And then you go in thinking you're the same Superman you were before.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, boom, it's a slap in the face and reality hits.
Yep.
So like I've been in there even when I didn't feel like it. You know, where I was happy, I was sad, I was mad. All those things, you can go in and let your emotions out. And you can talk to anybody in there, almost anybody. Some people don't want to talk, but most of them will talk with you. And you'll hear their story and you're like, man, like I'm not alone.
Exactly.
You're never alone, ever. Whether it's gym, whether it's church, whether it's work, finance, whatever, you're never alone. But if you become a loner, you're going to feel alone. You know, you got to reach out of your comfort zone. And you doing a real estate thing, you're talking to people. You know,
dude, that's like so far out of my comfort zone that
it's good.
But it's good, and I've enjoyed it. Like I mean, it's made me a better person.
Absolutely.
It's, you know, like some of the fun that I've had so far, like, you know, I had a buddy that I used to work with at Gates. He called me up, wanted to look at this 150 acres of property. We went out there and we drove around, just had a good catch-up time, you know, and I'm like, dude, like, it's hard to believe, like, I'm actually kind of almost doing business with you now, you know, like, of course, now he didn't buy it that day, but, you know, like, doing that type of stuff is what I like doing. So it's like, man, that's...
You're going to reestablish some connections. You're going to make new ones.
Yeah.
You know, who knows the opportunities it could hold for you.
Yeah. And that's the thing is I just love people and I like helping people. Yeah. That's why I do this podcast every week. Cause like Megan, you know, we're fixing to go on vacation here pretty soon. And she told me, she said, man, she's like, you know, I wish you had 1 or 2 nights to, you know, help me pack and stuff like that. I said, I know. I said, I really don't have time to do this, but I said, I need to go do this because I said, I like doing this and I don't want it to quit. Like, you know, like this is where I come and we have good times. We have good talks and I think we help people. I've had a lot of people say that they enjoy listening to us. You know? So it's like, you know, you feel like you have that drive to like show up for people.
Yes. And even when you don't want to.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what I think that's where it's going to be. You know, there's a lot of legal stuff that I'm still, you know, trying to learn and trying to dot my I's and, you know, cross my Q's. Yeah. If that makes sense.
There's a line in the queue.
No, but no, there's a bunch of stuff that I'm still navigating as far as that stuff. Yeah. But as far as like just, you know, being there for people and just genuinely like not only being a realtor, but just being a friend to them. Like, man, what are you going through, dude? Like, you know, sitting down and saying it's not just about selling this house. Like,
hit a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
You're not just surface level trying to buy and sell.
If you're going through a divorce, man, that sucks, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'll be here to, I'm a brother. I know what it feels like. It sucks. You got to sell this place or, like whatever. But, like I want to take all that burden off of you so you can sell this place. Like I think that's what being a realtor is. And there's been I think a lot of people don't understand that about a realtor is like, we're not out there trying to, take no money or nothing like that. We genuinely, like it's just like everybody has a drive to do something, Mine, I think I found it with this. It's helping people.
Yeah.
And it's not getting money. Of course, now everybody works because of money, but it's not that drives me. Because when I start getting driven with money, I don't care about it no more.
Right.
Money is like, I don't really care about it, but when you really start thinking about like, man, I want to see that guy smile. I want to see that guy happy. I want to see this close. I want to see everything go good with this guy's life. That's what brings a smile to my face. It ain't the paycheck I'm going to get afterwards, And I think that's what, if I can keep that goal focused and everything like that, like I think I'm going to really enjoy doing this the rest,
Yeah, you'll be a lot happier.
Yeah.
Going that way.
Yeah. But, and that's another thing too, is I feel like I'm super honest of a guy, and I'm not tooting my own horn when I say this, but I had a realtor tell me, I work at MoDOT and I do realty on the side. Well, I had a realtor tell me, don't ever tell nobody you've got a second job. If anybody asks, you tell them that you're working with another client at the moment. And I was like, I'm not going to lie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't. That's not who I am.
Yeah, no, that's a salesperson.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm not a salesperson.
Yeah, and nobody wants to deal with a salesperson.
I'm gonna let you know straight up. Hey, look, I have to support my family first, and that's what I'm doing. Like that's the best way I can do it.
Also lets them know that hey, I'm not getting rich off of selling your house.
No,
you're not.
Yeah.
By the time everything's said and done, it takes a huge amount of money to get you a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like it ain't. You're not getting rich off real estate.
Yeah,
you can get well off and eventually have more than a few listings and it'll start working out where you can hopefully make a good living. But like I think being honest with like, hey man, I enjoy doing this, and yeah, it's an extra source of income, but my primary is a full-time job here. So like, hey, I get it how you're struggling, and you're looking to get the most out of this, or you're looking to spend a fair amount because I'm with you. Like I still have to work, 80 hours a week to try to make a paycheck to pay my bills and have this extra for my fifth pocket. Like, it's my fifth pocket money.
Yeah.
And I'm also helping people. Like, that's a good way of looking at it, I would think. And if you told me that, like, I would be way more apt to going with you than just, more or less bragging or something. Well, the time is essence. If you don't want this, call somebody's on the phone right now. Like, I've got that. I've been told that. It's pyramid scheme stuff,
That's why there's people that will work with me, and there's people that won't work with me.
It's gonna
and
happen.
I don't need the people that won't work with me, so they can go to somebody that they can work with. And that's the way you got to look at it. Is I think there's somebody for everybody. Somebody's going to need me.
Yeah.
I don't know who it is, but somebody's going to need my vibe, my support system, my way of doing it. And some people probably are not going to want my vibe, because they're going to be like, that sucker's goofy. Yeah. Like, I mean,
it's a good goofy.
But good goofy.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, you're goofy. But it's good goofy. That's why I love you.
Well, and that's something I've been struggling about a lot here. Just get down and dirty on this is like here lately, dude, I've been struggling with that self-confidence because I feel like in my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, being a realtor, you're supposed to act more realtor-ish.
You're supposed to have your shit together.
Yeah, you got to be like, polo shirt everywhere, golf pants, and I don't even play golf. Like, I mean, like, you got to get your.
If you see me play last weekend, you'd be like, this guy shouldn't play golf.
Yeah, I actually bought a thing of hair gel the other day, and I don't even have any hair.
So you don't have any.
No, but like,
what do I do with this?
No, but just like stuff like that, I've been feeling like, well, like I better act more professional because like if I don't act professional, then there's going to be people that don't like me. Well, guess what? There are a lot of people that don't like me probably, and there's a lot of people that do like me, and that's what I've got to keep on. Is like,
and I get it because I'm a people pleaser. I don't like it when somebody doesn't like me because I feel like I'm a pretty good person.
Yeah, I'm.
But you're not going to make everybody happy, and that's one reason I do this podcast. Is why I cuss and I drink, because this is me. And if you don't like me, Go watch somebody else. If you don't like my views because I'm stern with the way I say something, go somewhere else. I'm so tired of having to beat around the bush and step on eggshells because Billy Bob, I don't know if he likes me, but Susie Sue does, you know. So why do I have to act different around Billy Bob than I do Susie Sue?
Yeah.
You know, and people are going to use you because they like you. They may not like you at first, but I guarantee you once they talk to you, they're going to be like, oh, shoot, this guy's pretty freaking cool, you know, and he's honest with me. That's awesome because, man, there's so many unhonest people in the world, you know, and that's where, like, your self-confidence, you're not going to let, when you do get confident, and you will, you're not going to let that get in the way of your ego like a lot of people will. Get power in your head. You're like, oh, I wake up and I shit excellent. Like, no, dude, come on. Like, you wipe it the same way I do, and it's...
And I pray to God I never do.
You won't.
You know,
I know you won't.
Because there's, you know, I can't ever, you know, a person, I think every one of us is human.
Yes.
Every one of us has the devil has the tactics that he throws at you, the pride of life, the lust of the eyes, and the lust of the flesh.
You're gonna fall.
And you're going to have all those thrown at you, and nobody can say that they won't ever fall for it, none of that.
Yep.
But I honestly believe just of how my conscience is and stuff like that. Like if I can start, I may be like that for a little bit.
You will.
But as soon as I can see the effects and see people, I'm like, what am I doing? You know, like, I'm sorry. And I've always had a very repetitive heart. Like, you know, if I can tell that I'm in the wrong, I will admit that I'm in the wrong. I don't have a problem saying that because I know you know.
Yeah, dude, I apologize. My Alexa will say it different. She's just stubborn and I'm stubborn. Like, I apologize a lot. If I'm being ignorant, and sometimes I go at it, and that's where some of the times ego will get in the way.
Yeah.
And then you got to step back and be like, dude, even if I might have been right, I went about that wrong. Mm-hmm. You know, like maybe we can come to an understanding. And I will almost always reach out to anybody I've had disagreement with. I don't know if one time I haven't. And be like, hey, I get where you're thinking. Like, can I explain how I'm thinking? Mm-hmm. And see if we can at least come to like, hey, I still don't like it, but I appreciate you telling me. Or like, hey, like now I understand why you came at it this way. Thanks for understanding why I did. And let's be big boys.
Yep.
Let's go do whatever. You know, or big boys and girls. Like it's today's world, man. It's like, especially around social media, you're going to have people look at you and be like, man, I've always wanted to be a realtor. I've always wanted to get jacked. And, you know, and you're doing these things and they're going to piss in your Cheerios. But, dude, you're eating Honey Nut Cheerios and you're not eating regular
I'm
Cheerios.
eating grape nuts, son.
Grape nuts. Don't eat peach seeds and just don't shit them out. You know, like you're not going to please people. You're not. But dadgummit, the ones that you do please were meant to be in your situation.
Yeah.
And they needed you and you needed them. And this is going to go with life in general. You know, whether it's archery, whether it's in the gym, whether it's the real estate, you can't, like those three things, man. You have and will meet people that are like God put in your life, and it's crazy. Even the guys we've had on here, this little bitty Journey Unknown podcast. Well, I did mention that it's a Journey Unknown podcast. We're here at the Pine Knot Lodge. I think this is episode 28. June 10th. You know, this is Scott and Swilly. We didn't introduce ourselves. We kind of went in for it, but there's people being put in our lives that are meant to be there.
Yeah.
And I hope that we get put in front of people's eyes that we're meant to see. I want them to see that I'm human, that I make a mistake, that I cuss and I do these things and I live a fun lifestyle, a struggle lifestyle, but I'm still a good person. Mm-hmm. You know, no matter what I've done, like I still have good in me and I still have something to provide. Not really to prove, I'm tired of proving, but to provide. Mm-hmm. And that's what you're going to do. You're providing a service that's helping people get rid of their burdens or to create a better source of life or to purchase something that's going to be a better source of life. And you can come at it in a way where you're like, hey, dude, I'm struggling too. I got 2 jobs. Yeah. You know, one's a good job and I enjoy it, and one's a passion. Uh-huh. And I hope to make this passion a career, but for now, like I'm going to struggle and I'm going to get very little sleep and work my tail off and make it happen. Like, how can I help you?
Yeah.
You know?
Because there's so many things. Let me tell you something real quick, because I had one of the best. I had Alton was telling me the other day that somebody came up to him. So I met this guy on a trip, and I mean, got to know him really good. You know, like we drank some beer together. We just got to know each other. Yeah. You know, and anyways, he come up to Alton. He said, "Yeah, I met your buddy Dustin Whitten." And Alton's like, "Yeah, he's a good dude." And he said, man, he is. He said, I really like him, but he said, man, he acts like one of them real Christian-y guys. And Alton's like, no, he doesn't act like a Christian-y guy. He is a Christian.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, Dustin's one of the best dudes I know.
Just appreciating that he still had a beer with you and cut up with you. Like,
That's what
not
he said.
prude. You're not prude.
That's what he said. He said, Swilly, he's like, he's a Christian, but he'll still drink beer with you. Like he's not like just so above it. And I was like, I said, that's one of the best compliments I've ever, like even though he said that in that way, I was like,
he recognized
for somebody to outside look at you and say, man, that guy's kind of Christian. He acting, like, well,
because it's like they almost put you on either you're a good old boy, you'll just come over here and drink the beer with me in the bar every night, or you're just a good Christian. Like people look at like you have to be one way or the other. Mm-hmm. And is only being like that Christian-y Bible thumper guy, is that good? Yeah, at least at that point you're doing a lot less wrong. Maybe. But we're human. Mm-hmm. I like to find a balance of not overdoing anything. I think too much of good things are bad. Yep. I think too much of bad things are bad. And it's not me trying to be like, oh, like my lifestyle, I'm not doing real good on either side. Maybe I should make it to where I feel better about myself. Yep. No, dude, I freaking screw up. I screw up every single day. Mm-hmm. And I sometimes go off the deep end. Sometimes I'm on the good end. It's a good balance where you can still hold a conversation about a lot of different things in life, and you're not sitting there judging somebody because you've been there.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where I'm at. Like, I've been there. I've done drugs. I've done partying. I've done bad things. But I've also understood the good, and I've seen the light. Like, and it's nice to be able to talk about that with people and be like, man, like, you just seem more well-rounded. Like, you can still have Christian beliefs and kind of sit back and chill with me and understand me. Like, and that's just going to help you in life, I think, to be able to do that.
Yeah, because that's what I was telling my wife today. I said, my whole first half of life, dude, I was around her. Like, I mean, bars every weekend, shutting them down. Yeah. Like, I mean, I love doing that. Just getting out and socializing and having a good time. And I mean, I look back on those memories and, dude, there was nothing but good times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Very seldom was there ever a fight. Like, I never was a fighter.
There's never like a moment in my life that was like, if I had it to do over again, I wouldn't have done that because I met a lot of good people in those bars.
Oh yeah,
I met a lot of the people that I call my close buddies nowadays. I wouldn't have ever met if I hadn't have been in those bars during that time of my life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think people go through points like that, but I mean, there's also points when you get out of life where you're like, okay, you got kids, for instance. That's a big changer right there. I mean, that's when. I really felt the need to, because I remember my wife when we got pregnant, we had a hard time having kids, and then we finally.
How long do you guys try for? Because you guys have, maybe it's a little personal, but you guys have tried again for a little while too, and it was just kind of maybe it's just God's way of saying it's not.
Yeah,
if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't,
we spent too much money on trying to make it happen, like going to fertility doctors, doing this and that, and
it's sad. Then you got these druggies that just popping them out left and right, and just I feel so bad for the kids.
I told.
Like, how come they get to, it's like, why me? How come they get to have all these kids whenever they don't even want them?
Yeah.
And these poor things are going to grow up with no guidance or a step. And then people like you guys that are just, gifts to people and then have struggles. But you know what? There's a lot of good people that have that issue. And it's just like, it's what was meant to happen, apparently.
Yeah. A buddy of mine's wife, she stopped by the house the other night, and like, you could tell there was something different on her face. Like, she said, I gotta go pee. And so, like, I told Megan, I was like, we ain't seen her in a while, and she just randomly out here, she got to pee, like, oh, that's cool, but like, and then like she showed up, and then finally it came loose, and she's like, hey, she's like, I gotta tell you guys something. And then she broke the news that they were pregnant, which they were going through the same thing we did. Like, they got one little baby boy, sweet little guy, but they were trying to have another one. Well, they just finally, I think he's 5 or 6 now, I think. Yeah. So they finally got pregnant again. And she's like, I've really had anxiety about coming out here and telling you guys because, I know how you guys struggle having kids. And I was like, I don't ever want you to think that. I was like,
didn't want to make you feel bad.
If you are good parents and you deserve children, I said, I'm super happy for you, dude. I was like, that makes my heart happy.
Right.
Because that's what, that's where kids are supposed to go to, I want them to. But yeah, I know what you're saying. There's so many people and kids that grow up without dads that care about them, and I don't know. That's messed up. But you can't do nothing about it either. At the same time, it's just the way the world.
No, I think like Trevor's dealing with that stuff too, with like his little, I guess it'd be his cousin, just kind of a bad life, and then the system just screws with people.
Mm-hmm.
They know that like the family's not fit to go back to, and where he's at is better.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't take in like that consideration. It's just because there's a blood bond, and they're supposed to go back with a parent, even though it's just been proven over and over and over and over again that like it's just not good. And I wish that it was good, because I think everybody deserves a second chance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about 100. I don't know. It's a messed up deal. You just got to pray that whatever's happening is supposed to happen, and and it's best for him or her situation. Like it's just tough. Kind of get on that little sad kind of story, but that's
something that
people face all the time.
That's where the heart is, though. I mean, and that's where the Bible even talks about children. If the Bible talks about children that strongly, like talks about somebody hurts one of those kids, a millstone's to be tied around his neck and thrown into the ocean. Well, if God's telling you to do that, he evidently probably feels the same way.
God was a man of war and an occasional violence.
Yeah,
I was listening to Rogan again, and Rogan's kind of turned in more of like I think he's a Christian type person, but he's talking about like God hung around blue collar people, like he was around people like us that had a past, that have a future that ain't always going to be great. Like he understood us, and I like to think that he understands me even when I don't understand myself. Mm-hmm. I question all the time, like what the hell am I doing? Like what am I supposed to do? Like I don't, that I'm kind of angry, or that I'm confused, or that I love you, but I'm still be one day like the song Jack's "Dear God." Like it screams to me because I have those feelings, and the more you're around people, the more you're going to see their side of their belief and like what's happened. Like some of them are like diehard that changed their lives to the good, and some of them are like diehard. Like, how could there be a God? And I'm like, man, like I get what you're saying, and I've been there. And some days it happens. I forgot where I was going with that. Did I have a direction? I think it's just more like confusion. We're going to be confused. We're not supposed to know. You're just supposed to have faith.
Yeah, but saying that there is no God is harder to say. I mean,
you understand.
But you understand that I understand how they feel, because even though I am a Christian, there's not a day goes by some days that the devil doesn't put that doubt in my head. Like, what if this is all a lie? What if this is made up? What really is gonna happen when you say your last breath? Like, what are you gonna see? Like, is it just gonna just be over? Or is it, is it a process? Is it what the Bible says? Is it everything?
So just leave and you'll be up there immediately, and then you're facing.
But the devil, I think he tries to do that all the time. But that's where the Bible always talks about faith. Like faith is seeing without believing, or believing without seeing. Yeah, had it backwards. But knowing I
have faith we're going to shoot a 150 up in Iowa.
Well, and faith is believing everything.
It is.
Conspiracy theories, flat Earth. You got to have faith to believe flat Earth, because nobody knows. If somebody shows you an actual picture, somebody's going to say, "Well, how do you know that's an actual picture?"
Yeah. Well, the same way with the guy is like, "Hey, man, I passed 3 140s last year. Oh, you got pictures of them?" No, I ain't got pictures of them. Can't always believe them. I don't have the best faith in some of those people. Kind of making a full circle. Story here, but speaking of Iowa, the draw is coming.
What day is that?
I don't know. Yeah, so you can look it up. It was Sunday the 9th, or no, the 7th. Sunday the 7th, the point system ended, and I think Alton was saying we have 2 weeks until it shows. So, crossing fingers,
man.
Crossing fingers. I've been having dreams of it. And Alton I think is obsessed right now.
I love
that guy is like Booner City in his mind.
He's got we ought to come up with a disease that he has. There's deer hunting fanatics, and then there's Alton that is plagued with it. It almost
he's one of the few people that I think thinks about it more than I do.
Yeah.
Into a very strategic
and a super
yes, and it's very to the point about it. When I focus on it, I'm focusing about the whole everything, like the building the arrows, the shooting the bows, the tinkering with bows, the food plots, like all these things. He's like, big buck, how do I get to him? And it's like he will go around a bunch of different avenues, but like he's ready to just kill that big thumper. Like that's it. He don't want to kill a bunch of deer. He wants to kill the one.
Yeah.
And he's gonna probably do it. And, I have faith that he is gonna do it. And I have faith in all of us, but
well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
But I'd say he may be trying to get on a different caliber.
The stuff he notices in game camera pictures that the average person would never even think about.
Yeah.
Like, look at that white hair on his left testicle. You know, like he would notice something like that. That's that buck that we seen 5 years ago that was crossing a fence in a blurry photographic.
That means he's 6 or 7 now. Like he's ready to. He's ready to be a bratwurst buck.
Yeah, like I mean, he notices just like wild stuff, and then like. You know, like he sent me a picture the other day. He's like, man, this one's going to be a good one. It was like a blurry photographic of it running away. And all you could see was just this blur. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I believe you because I know how you think. And I know you know what you're talking about.
The hams were big on it. I remember that. Had a nice set of hams on it. And I seen a bunch of deer this morning, a few bucks. Finally, I've seen a lot of deer this morning.
My boss showed me his wife took a Snapchat right there across from Tin Box. That field right there. Yeah. There's always good ones out there.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a couple of dandies out there a couple of years ago. Matt Ice, he traps all that back in there, and he's told me he's seen some dandies back in there.
Yeah, they stay around.
It's thick enough. There ought to be some good ones in there.
Well, not very far from there is where you have the sheds of that deer. You know?
Yeah. And speaking of which, man, like I priced that land. 64 acres, I think, and I think they're wanting about 19 something an acre for it. I was like, dude, like we ought to buy that.
No kidding.
And just start a hunting reserve right there on the edge of town. Like, dude,
and it's not industrial?
I don't think so. I think it's right outside kind of.
You can't find land that cheap.
Well,
really?
I mean, like that's right there in town. Yeah.
Right.
But like, if people really knew like the type of deer that place grew,
we could have our own like miniature Seek one.
I don't know if it's that little substation that's right there. If it like emits like donkey ions or something. Like, like
why does a squirrel have 3 eyes?
Ever since these deer are Bambis, they've been electronically charged and they just grow into these. But there's always been good deer out there. I mean, just solid, 140s, 150s, and then those sheds I found.
Mega.
That sucker must have got hung up in the substation or something. I don't know, but no.
Like teenage mutant ninja deeries.
No, but yeah, there's always been good ones. Get hit on the highway right there. Or I remember that was the first time I ever met old Matt Ice. One of the 8-pointers I've been watching out there. Got hit by a car, and Logan called me. He's like, hey, my buddy Matt just hit it, and
oh shoot,
we go up there to meet him. Yeah, that was the first time I ever met old Matt. He's a good dude.
Yeah, he is. he's something too.
That's the cool thing too about like this is full circle, just like this is how our brains work, But real estate, back to that. So my buddy selling his house, and he wants to down the road, and I telling him, like on his ceiling, he had some stuff hanging down, like the paint was chipping.
Yeah.
And it looked kind of just bad, like it probably wasn't, but it was just the appearance. And I said, before you put this up, and it was just like a couple spots, like right in the hallway and right there in the like right when you walk in. I said, if you could, see if you can get that fixed. Well, then I got to thinking, I'm like, man, why am I leaving it up to him to get it fixed? Like, I know people that can fix it. My job is to get that way he don't have to think about that.
Right.
So I called my buddy Kyle. He said he didn't have time, and he's like, he's not really good at that kind of stuff. But he's like, why don't you call Matt Ice? He said he does drywall work every day.
All the time.
And he said that's right up his alley. So I called Matt, and I said, hey, buddy's fixing to sell his house, and he's got some paint, chipping on the ceiling, and I see what you can go out there and shoot him a bid for. And then I told Rusty to have him check a couple other things, but he was like, dude, he's like, I'm glad you called me. he's like, man, I don't have any work this week. And I was like,
Yeah, and you doing this could keep lining them up. Hey, I've got a guy.
I was like, dude, like I said, that's why I feel like every step is guided. Like, I don't feel like anything happens by chance,
Yep.
The other day I went to a buddy's wife's birthday party. Been talking to a lady for sale by owner through Facebook. Never seen her in person. My wife has talked to her and knows her pretty well, but I've never met her. So all I know is what her face looks like on Facebook, and all she knows is what my face looks like on Facebook. As soon as I get there, I walk down there.
Tell you you're uglier in person.
I walk down there, and all of a sudden, she comes walking up, and she just looks at me, and I look at her, and I was like, "You're Donna, ain't you?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I was like, man, that's crazy that, I did not expect to meet you here.
Oh, you didn't know she was going to be there?
No, I just didn't, but something in my mind told me to go that night because, and it wasn't just because of that, but I met a lot of good people, that I didn't know before.
Well, it'd be nice too, like we go out and do things, especially around the general area within a little ways. Carry a business card on you with a hunting thing, especially, you're going to be selling places that may have land or looking for something, and then we're going to talk to all kinds of people, and then when they realize you're a pretty cool dude, like they may not be looking, somebody else might be like, "Oh, dude, I met this guy at the Show Me show this week. He loves deer hunting. They do a podcast. He's a realtor. Like, maybe hit him up. Like, he's right down your alley. He seemed like a guy that wasn't going to, he's going to shoot you straight.
Yeah.
You're going to have to get out and do those kind of things, and you're just going to put face in front of you and some conversation.
Yeah, that's but that would be awesome if I could down the road, kind of get a little land specialization or something like that where I could take my dream of hunting.
Yeah,
and
almost like consulting too.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah,
I think it would be.
Because I was looking up today, because I'm looking into getting my GPR, which is I can't think of the name.
I'm trying to think of what it's called now.
What was that? Now brain fart.
It happens. So many acronyms in the world.
I know.
It's hard to remember what goes what.
Ground penetrating radar. That's not the word I'm looking for.
Call it burrowing. Speaking of burrow, somebody last weekend sold a mule like not far from here for $130,000.
A mule?
A mule.
Like a donkey?
Yeah. Like they ride them and stuff like that. And it broke the record for, I don't know if it was this area, but $130,000 for a mule.
Golly, dude, that's nuts. Well, what's the special about it?
I don't know. It's a fine piece of ass. I don't know, but the guy, like my buddies that are big into horses and whatnot, it's one of their guys they know. I think they're kind of getting popular for riding. I guess they're a little less stubborn, like a horse, maybe. Figure out what it's called.
I don't know. It's
General purpose real estate. That's
yeah, it's something along those lines.
Yeah.
But it basically, I've heard
about it, but I can't remember what it's called.
I was studying on it, and basically, it's everything I need to learn at this point in my career. Like it's like how to negotiate better, how to do, how to do the legal stuff, how to tackle that more. Because I've only been hit with a couple questions here and there, and it's like like I said, I'm not a salesman, so I don't know these little how to spin things. I've always been that kind of guy. Like if I shoot you a price and you don't like it, like go on down the road if you don't want my price. Like I'm not that negotiator kind of guy.
Yeah.
But in the same sense, I've also been that type of guy. Like if you and somebody else are about to get in an argument, I'm very good at getting in between you guys and saying, "Hey man, I like you both. Like you stay here. Like let's calm down." Like I've been very good at like settling situations like that. So
right. I
think in real estate, that's going to be kind of the same thing as, like the buyer gets mad at the seller or the seller gets mad at the buyer. It's like, hey, I understand how you're feeling, dude. Like, but this is, I got this. Don't worry. Like we're going to get through this together. Right. But anyways, GPR. And then I was researching all the different titles that you could get after, after this. And, One of them was like, the land specialist thing. And I was like, man. And then I think they had one on there that was like land or what'd you say? The
Consulting?
Consulting, yeah. Where you can, tell people kind of, how to set their land up to manage deer and stuff like that. But
yeah, that'd be awesome if you could be able to sell pieces and kind of be almost like an overseer afterwards. Because a lot of them big properties are getting bought by people that just have more money or something. And maybe they may not live here. And they're just wanting to come down and hunt it or use it for recreation. And maybe you could go in and be like, hey, I can help this food plot here, fields here, or timber growing here. Now, knowing this is on my radar now, I wish I would have went in and got more of like a biology degree or something to understand those things. Because I don't feel very smart with all that. Like I don't know my timber. I don't know all the types of grasses and how to grow things. Something I'm very intrigued about, but I'm like, crap, I wish I would have realized this was my passion 10, 15 years ago.
Well, you know how to get, even though you can't go back in time and go get a biology degree, but start hanging out with forestry guys.
Yeah.
I got a good buddy he's a forestry guy, dude. When we walk through the woods, man, I remember he told me one time, he's like, see that tree right there, how it's bent over and then it's got, live growth growing up out of the side of it. He's like, I'm going to nerd out on you a little bit. And I can't even remember what he said. It was some kind of weird name. Oxens. He said that's what those
Oxens.
And ox.
Is that like what's growing on the tree?
Well, it's the chemical in the tree that like when it gets broke over, all of a sudden it senses light. So all the oxens,
it's always trying to find.
Yeah, all the oxens go to the top to find the light, and then that's where that new growth comes up.
Oh, but dang.
So, but yeah, no matter where you are in life, that's kind of what I was thinking. It's like, if you want to get better at something, hang out with somebody that's good at it. Just like, body or weightlifting, weight loss. If you want to hang out, if you want to learn more about it, hang out with people that are into that kind of stuff.
And that's even harder there because how many of your friends are into it?
Yeah, I don't
know.
I mean, I've got a lot in the gym.
Right.
I've got gym buddies
on my social life. Like, I like to drink a beer. I like to eat food, but I can't do it every day if I go hang out with 99.9% of the people that are friends with me.
Yeah. And
I love them to death, but they don't get where I'm at, and I've been where they're at, and I don't want that all the time. So it's just like that's where that balance of life comes in, where I have to work my butt off in all the extra time to have that 1 or 2 times a week, every 2 weeks or a month, to get to go have fun and be around people that just don't have the same mindset as you.
Exactly.
And it's the same way with the woods. I can't really go talk hunting with people because some of them they just do it because they enjoy doing it. They don't really care what the outcome is. They don't have the same technical mind. So then again, you find yourself kind of the oddball out. But it's good. I think it's good to have that. I think it's good to be odd.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, be yourself because that's what people are going to like you for.
Yeah.
And like what I was thinking too is like, like fitness and everything else ties hand in hand. When you start out, you're kind of intimidated to go to the gym because you think that fit people are, cocky, arrogant, or they know a lot more than you. But then you get there and then you realize, well, I mean, like we're just real humans. Like we're doing the same thing. Like, I mean, I was there, now I'm here. So it's like, wow, we're the same. And it just gives you that perception in life that like everything's that way.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter if you're broke. You look at Elon Musk. I'll bet you if me and him were sitting here side by side, I'd be talking the same way I'm talking right now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to change who I am because you're Elon Musk. Like,
right.
That's just cool.
May I ask you a few questions?
Yeah, I'll ask you some daggum good questions. Yeah. But I mean, you're gonna meet me, and I'm gonna meet you, and we are two unique human beings.
Yes,
but
it's good to have uniqueness.
But it's crazy, like when you get to that stuff. Now you're gonna meet a lot of buttheads along the way.
You are.
But for the majority, just like in the gym. But for the majority, I'll bet you everybody's kind of like, hey, I've been where you were.
Yep.
I mean, now I'm here, so welcome.
Yeah.
And that saying, you'll be a millionaire, hang out with a millionaire, and you'll be there. It's like, that's what I try to do in life is just like, not say do away with all my friends.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not saying do that.
That's not. I'm not saying like.
But always make new ones. And
new
like
friends
strive
keep
to
the old. One is silver and the other's gold.
And strive to just focus on like making the people that are going to build your life, not just wealth. because wealth,
Not like money wealth.
Yeah.
There's different.
well,
styles.
wealth, I think, is a whole different term. Like, I mean, there's being filthy rich, and then there's poor, and then there's wealth. And wealth
Yeah.
is like a combination of everything. Like,
Wealth of
you could be-
knowledge.
yeah.
It's like,
you could have the most money in the world and have a poor relationship with your family.
yeah.
That doesn't make you wealthy.
No,
Or you
man.
could have a great relationship with your family and you could be broke as a skunk.
Right.
That doesn't make you wealthy.
Yeah, like,
you've
I
got to have
wish-
that.
I wish I had a better relationship with my family, but like they just don't get me. I don't really get them, and it's hard.
You mean
And
like
it's-
your outside family? Like
my family in general, my immediate family, like it's like my extended family.
Yeah.
I guess you'd say. Yeah, it's like they're set in their ways, very strict ways, and I'm different. I'm kind of a black sheep sometimes. They've learned to appreciate kind of my mindset, but it's not easy because I can't really talk to them either, so they don't really ask questions, or sometimes it gets more judgy than anything.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, come on, like ask me things and I can explain, and maybe you can understand where I'm at instead of just covering it up with a blind eye or judging me for it.
how many people you think judged Jesus' disciples? Like, dude, I can't believe he hung out with him.
Yeah.
Like, you know what he did?
I think about everybody turned on him.
Yeah,
Really?
every one of them suckers was roughnecks,
Yes,
like,
yeah, no,
or
exactly.
they were businessmen.
That's
Like,
where I was getting at earlier. Was he hung out with people that are like us, and they all of them that end up following him, like I said, religiously, had a rough freaking life.
yeah,
They were like tax collectors and debt or gamblers and prostitute type people. Like it was murderers. It just shows you can turn a new leaf if you
yeah.
just set your mind to it, have some belief and some faith. Faith can move mountains. It really truly can.
there's like, how I told you before, I feel like my mind is like sometimes it's hard explaining the feelings that I have,
I can't explain.
but it's like everybody has this cognitive, ability to change. Now, whether they do or not is, it's up to them, like really and truly, and like how hard they want to fight that demon to keep, to make that jump.
Yeah. 'Cause it's a losing battle for a long time.
Yeah. And I don't know if that made a lick of sense. Like I said, it's
Well,
hard.
to me, it does. But like I said, me and you think a lot alike, so it's like I get where you're coming from, and I hope that. And what it seems like whenever I listen to these back, like it makes sense.
Yeah.
Sometimes in the moment, I'm like, man, I wish I would have shut up for the last 5 minutes because none of that came out like I wanted it to. Then I listen to it, I'm like, oh, I get it. But it's also me being biased because I already know how I feel. I'm like, oh, he stuttered around, didn't say a single word right, but I get what he's saying.
I know. And that's the thing. Like my buddy at work, he always jokes around. He's like, "You're a daggum philosopher." I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I just think weird. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like I think deep. Like,
Yeah, I do too.
I think
I wish
below
I-
the
I wish
surface
I didn't
or above,
sometimes.
whatever that saying is. I don't even know how to talk, but I can think like
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, but I've always thought that like there's normal people or people that just think average. And then there's me that can like see, and I don't know what all I can see, but I can perceive things. I can really see different than the average. And then I feel things like emotions, like a lot more than
Yeah.
certain people.
And it hurts.
Yeah,
have
like
that.
you
It does.
but you have that big heart, that
Yeah.
super, like I'll cry. Like I'm a crier. I mean, I ain't scared to admit it. Like, I mean, like, and I think that's a good thing,
It
for
can-
me.
I don't. I bottle things in a lot, and I don't show my emotions sometimes,
Yeah.
or I do at wrong times. It's just part of being a man too. Like you're expected to not worry about stuff, or not show you're worried, not show fear, or anger, or pain. But holy crap, my shoulders are killing me from all that
No
stuff.
kidding,
But
yeah.
then the moment you do feel a little vulnerable, it doesn't really go your way.
Dude, one of the best feelings in the world is when you meet somebody that's been like that, tough as nails. And then all of a sudden, dude, they're hugging you and they're bawling their eyes out. Just, and you can feel that, it's like, holy cow, like this dude like needs a hug,
Yeah.
like,
Sometimes those strongest looking people,
and it's no homo whatsoever. It's pure
No,
out of
not
love.
not too much anyway.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that feeling of like, dude, I got you, man. Like that's
Well, the guys that sometimes have the most stone cold face are the ones that are hurting the most in life and have that soft side to them.
yeah,
You know, and that's where it just like get out of your comfort zone and go talk to them, because especially like at the gym when you got those guys that are just big ripped dudes and they just have this like killer look on their face. Dude, most of them are the nicest guys.
yeah,
Like really, and like the most thoughtful and smart guys. The guys that are all like happy, goofy and stuff. Usually when I talk to them, it's very surface level conversation. It never gets deep. But people that I've been intimidated about talking to, I talk to them, we'll talk for an hour, and it's about the deepest, darkest things in life.
yeah,
They're like things that probably people don't really know. Mm-hmm. And it's like, dang, like I get it. And I'm glad we had this conversation because I feel the same way.
yeah.
So yeah, I think a lot tonight we were supposed to kind of do more like tinkering, but like I think it just getting out of your comfort zone is like the biggest thing that we can kind of go over tonight.
And consistency.
And being,
like,
yeah.
because like we talked about, like, I mean, we didn't really, didn't have a guest that could show up tonight. So it was like, hey, me and you, like, what are we going to talk about? Nah, I don't know. Let's
Yeah,
do
none of
some
this
boat stuff.
zero notes.
So it's like, let's just do one. Let's get it out there. And of course, there was things we could have done different. I could have been home packing right now, but
Yeah.
heck, I want to do this.
Right.
I need to do this because for me, like,
Yep. I had a long day. I was looking forward to it. I mean, if we have done one with just me and you, I don't really remember it, and it's been a while. So it's nice just kind of getting caught up with just our own thoughts. And we got some things we're looking forward to with Iowa, and we're going to do a squirrel camp here in the next couple of weeks. And,
that'll be fun.
Some more food plot stuff. Like it's a busy time of the year, but there's a lot of things to look forward to at the same time. Where are you going? Where are you going in Florida?
I think it's called Miramar Beach. It's kind of like, it's down there by Destin somewhere. Somebody asked me that today. They said, they're like, well, is it west side or east side? And I'm like,
North, south, east, west.
I don't know, man. I said, all I know is I drive until I hit water, and that's where I'm staying. Like I don't know.
Well, this
I'm
is
not,
it.
I'm not very good with
In the
directions.
Gulf of Mexico.
We're here, but
Find yourself in California.
no, but yeah, that's what was I gonna say? Daggin, I had something on my mind, but I don't know. It'll go. It'll come to me. It'll come to me.
One of them deep thoughts that just got sunk in.
That's the problem is sometimes if I don't,
You got GPR.
it's ADD.
Ground penetrating.
I think it's ADD. Like a lot of that stuff that's me and you've got in common. Whatever ADD is, whatever that is, our minds have that, and it syncs up. Because we both have the same problems of paying attention. We'll think of this, and then all of a sudden,
It's so bad.
You get on this idea, and then you'll think of this. And heck, I forget what I'm saying halfway through my sentences sometimes.
I did it a minute ago. I was trying to talk, and then I was getting in some deep stuff, and then it's like,
where am I going with this?
My GPS lost signal there.
No.
Well, man, I don't want to keep you here too long, so you can go home and pack. What has it been, an hour? An hour and 17 minutes. That went by fast.
Heck yeah, that was fun.
That was a good time. I enjoyed talking to it. Or talking to you.
What are we talking?
Like hunting and fitness is like my two things in life that I enjoy the most.
Yeah.
And it's something I've worked really hard at, and I'm kind of decent at both of them. But it's like I'm always talking to people to get better.
Yeah.
Always talking to people that can help them get better. And I'm not really the one to find the answers to, but maybe a little bit of inspiration.
I love people who are dedicated. It doesn't matter if you're in fitness, whatever it is, or underwater basket weaving. If you take underwater basket weaving to a passion where you're making money on it and you're getting it, like, dude.
Could you imagine doing that here? Like, you can't see in the water.
I want to learn about that, or that underwater polo,
Oh, yeah.
No, but just having that drive, that passion to do whatever is what I like seeing. And that's what it takes in all this stuff is just, it's never going to, back to where we started this thing, first thing about, like if somebody was going to go to the gym, like you're not always going to have the motivation to start.
No.
You just got to start and then the motivation will come.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's been good talking to you tonight,
You too, man.
I feel like I've rambled. I feel like
I know I did.
I went on some tangents of philosophies and
we needed it.
Oh yeah.
Needed it.
But that's who I am, and that's what I like doing. So
yeah, I can't help it.
This is like a normal night at deer camp.
Dude, that's the thing is. This is a deer camp vibe. It's exactly what I want it to be. And that's good for me.
Yeah.
I like it. With the things we're going to talk about anyway, you might as well do it with a microphone and the camera.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, guys, talking about deer camp, you know, if you're looking to change your camouflage this year or to get something upgraded, go to Vika Gear. Actually, it's just Vika.com and see what they've got. They got like a lighter colored pattern and a darker colored pattern. I'm about to use some of it for some turkey season. Not turkey season. Turkey season's over. Squirrel season. This is still food plot time up until the fall. Go to Whitetail Greens. They have a lot of different varieties of whatever you're looking for, whether it's a cover crop, whether it's like entrance and exit. It's wintertime stuff, some heat-resistant stuff. They've got it. They got some things for waterfowl type stuff, maybe. Don't quote me on that. You know, if you're looking at going to an exotic type hunt, check out South Texas Bucks and Bows in La Pryor, Texas. Cool people, good little operation. What else? There's something else. Oh, yeah, supplements. You know, they're doing away with like the CWD stuff, so I'm guessing they may be opening up a lot more counties to supplemental feed. And if you can do that, you know, it's Antler Edge and BioRack from Extreme Hunting 365. You can usually get it through us. We don't have any right now, but I need to go to Oklahoma and get it. And that's kind of a passion thing of mine. It's not like we make hardly any money off of it because we have to travel 7 hours there to get it, spend a lot of money to get it, bring it back, and we make a few dollars. But it's all said and done, I go in the hole, but it helps people to see some growth under deer and getting some numbers, and check them out or ask us to do it, and we'll go down and get you guys some supply. But until then, enjoy the summer, drink plenty of water. If
get healthy.
Get healthy. Like, we're still looking for people to respond with some of like the fitness challenge. I still want to do that.
So I talked to a guy today real quick I'm not trying to start a whole nother thing. Talked to a guy, he Colton Powell. Do you know him?
Yep.
So I've been watching his videos and stuff like that, and I hollered at him, see if he, be interested in coming on here.
He's been killing it.
He has, yeah. It sounds like he's got the same kind of story as I had.
He was big.
You wind out and you figure out, you're like, what am I doing with life? And you get so mad at yourself, and you finally just change it.
Yeah, he's made a huge change.
Yeah.
Good dude, too.
And that's the kind of people I want to meet.
Yeah,
talk to.
And he could cut your hair if you had him.
Exactly. Well, me and him look about the same. So.
Yeah. He's a barber, no hair.
You always trust them guys.
Mm-hmm. But go out there and fling some arrows.
Yep, and stay wild. If you need a house, bought or sold, come see me. Your man.
Get hold of Swilly.
Yep, stay wild.
See you guys.